Hello and welcome to my channel, Angie B Style by Angelique Collections. Today we're going to make a cute wallet. I had extra fabric left over from the tote that I made. And so we're going to fold the fabric in half as shown. We're going to put it on a fold and then we're going to measure out 9 inches in length by 5 inches high as shown. Now remember, we put this fabric on a fold. And we're measuring 9 by 5. So we will have a link in the description box where you can actually go and get the pattern for this particular wallet. Now we're getting ready to pin the fabric down, because usually if you have your pattern on there, you pin your fabric down before you cut. I don't want it to shift on me, and you wouldn't want that to happen to you either. Remember, it's on a fold. Now we're getting ready to trim. So I'm using my pinking shears, but you can actually use any scissors that you have to cut around where you marked your fabric. Now, usually you would have your pattern and you would be cutting around your pattern at this point. So when you open your fabric up, you're going to actually have a piece that measures 9 inches by 10 with the fabric open, as shown here. Taking the pins out. So now you have your main fabric and a lining fabric that measures the same, and we actually cut them both on the fold. Then you'll have a flap, your main fabric, and a lining piece for your flap. Couldn't even get that out, for your flap. So now we're putting right sides together, and we're going to pin, leaving a 2 to 3 inch opening at the bottom of the flap. So after we stitch around it, we can turn it inside out. As shown, you'll see. What I like about this pattern is we created everything on a fold, and then that way you actually save on fabric when you create things on a fold, because you don't have to use the entire piece of fabric to place on a fold, as you saw earlier in the video. You can just really crank these out really quick and fast. These are great gifts for the holiday. They could be little snack bags or wallets, which is really awesome. You can embellish them. You can do whatever you want to customize your wallet, and you will love it. And so will the people that you're giving it to. They will love it. People love custom gifts, believe it or not. And we really need to get back into using our hands to create these beautiful custom designs. Remember to remove your pins so you don't sew over your pins. I don't stitch over my pins. Some people do, I don't. It can really mess your sewing machine up. I know, trust me. All right, so we're almost done. And don't forget, when you start stitching your first stitch, back stitch, and at the end, back stitch again. All right, so now we're getting ready to trim our fabric. Now make sure that you don't cut your stitch line. You don't want to do that. You don't want to cut your seams. So just trim around it as close as possible without cutting your seams. Trimming off all of the extra fabric so when you turn it inside out, it won't look so bulky. Now we're getting ready to turn this piece inside out. Now you're going to poke out all of the sides, all of the corners, push out the corners. Make sure you get every corner. Push it out. I use my fingers, sometimes I use my scissors, but you don't want to poke a hole in it, so just take your time. Remember, no one's in a race. We want a really nice bag. Okay, so now, once you get finished pushing out all your corners, make sure all your corners are out, because once we close that up, it'll be hard, you know, getting your corners out. So push them all out. Now you're going to take the bottom part of the flap, you're going to turn it in as shown, and we're going to go and press. You know me, pin and press. Pressing makes it look professional. Alright, so now we have our flap complete. Now we're getting ready to put it together. So you take your main fabric, and one way to find the middle of your fabric so everything will line up is fold your fabric in half, like so, and kind of press with your fingers. Open it up. Repeat that same process with your flap. And we're going to put right sides together. Making sure everything lines up in the middle. Now we're going to take our lining fabric and we're going to place right sides together. We're going to pin around, all the way around, and remember at the bottom of this bag you're going to leave an opening, 2 to 3 inches open at the bottom so we can turn it inside out as shown. So just pin for now. And then we're going to stitch our bag around, leaving the bottom open, 2 to 3 inches open. Like I said, I'll have a pattern in the description box, a link to the pattern below in the description box. These are great gifts. All right, now that we stitched around, now we're going to trim as usual. Trim around, not cutting any of your seams. Okay, now we're going to turn it inside out, pushing out all your corners. Make sure all of the corners are pushed out. You can make these in really fun colors for people that you know in their favorite color. You can do snack. This can be a snack bag or wallet, which is really cute. You can use any type of novelty fabrics and just home decor fabrics, fashion fabrics, just whatever you want to use. As long as you use, when you use fashion fabric. I couldn't even get that out. Fashion fabric. just make sure that you have some kind of nice lining, because sometimes that fabric is a little thin. So now we're going to, after we push all our corners out, we're going to fold in the bottom. We're going to press and we're going to stitch. At this point you can add Velcro, you can add a snap if you like. It's totally up to you. Whatever you want to use as your closure. So now what I did was, once I sewed up the sides, I pushed a little bit of my fabric up, and what I did, I said, I want to put a button on. So I had some embroidery floss, or embroidery thread, and I put a button on, and then I used the remaining of my embroidery thread, and I just stitched a cute little design on the top of the bag, closing it down so the flat wouldn't flip over. So I'm just, sewing it down with a really cute stitch. I really enjoyed this project. I think you will too. You can create it as however you like. And actually, the XOXO, I put XOXO on there. You know me, love and peace. And I actually embroidered it on the front of the wallet as well. And when I turn it around, you'll be able to see it. But again, these are great gifts. I think you will enjoy putting these together. You could just bam, 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 crank them out. You can use Velcro to close it up as your closure. They have the fusible Velcro. You can use that, or you can use a magnetic snap. And I mean, you could just have fun embellishing the bag. You could have actually quilted this bag if you liked. You can do all types of things. Before you put your lining on, you could have quilted the front of the bag and just, did your thing. So again, you can be very creative with these particular wallets. I think you're going to really love this project. And hey, happy crafting as always. Happy crafting. See you next time.